Hello, Internet. It is I,
Oh boy.
CADave, and we are the cast of Insert Coin Floodwater on Happy Jack's RPG. Yay!
Yay,
Yay!
us!
Coming to you live from the safety of our homes. Uh, because yeah, it's crazy out there. It's crazy enough out there that this is better. So, I'm glad you could join us, whether you're listening live or you're going to find us in the future at happyjacks.org/shows. And we are going to kick this off here in a second, but I just realized I can't say to my left. Uh, so, how about we go on to Jay?
That's me. This is Jay. Hi, I'm Jay. I'm playing Colin from the Seeker playbook.
Nick.
Hey everyone, I'm Nick. I'm playing Danny with the Party Animal Playbook.
Mac.
Hi, I'm Mac. I'm distracted by everything that's going on in my own household right now. Cats are getting into something. But that's irrelevant. I'm playing Midge Johansen, who is the deputy sheriff of the town, the lone wolf playbook, and generally the babysitter of the group.
And Jason.
I'm generally accepted as the co-babysitter of the group. I play Jackson Clay, aka Crash, and he is I forget what it's called, the mechanic or the engineer or something.
Motorhead?
Motorhead. He's a whiz with machines because he is a machines. So that's my deal.
All right. So, you may have noticed that we're missing Sam, our intrepid recap coordinator. That sounds like a corporate title, and I like it. Uh, but she may be joining us in a little while. We're keeping our fingers crossed. But in the meantime, we should talk about what happened last time.
There was apparently a dive shop.
That's where we got to, yes.
I don't remember the dive shop. I do remember drones covered in fake skin. Because I initiated that and I'm a horrible person.
So we were preparing to be able to go into the exclusionary zone by creating, trying to acquire the safety materials we needed to do that, because the exclusionary zone, we discovered the water immediately corrodes and makes nasty any sort of machine, and we're assuming something quickly happens to blood and flesh and blood bodies as well. So we wanted to get dry suits to be able to dive in that water. And we went to Vegas. Colin and Crash blasted out to Vegas in Crash's souped up car. And the two of them went on a tour down into the dive pool and wound up making great friends with the weird old man, and then buying two of the suits that we could bring back. And it was a lot of kind of running around and research and figuring out what's what and making discoveries. That's what I remember anyway.
Why are we going to the exclusionary zone again? What was the precipitating? I know we dealt with the razor claws.
Oh, that's where they're coming from, most likely.
Right.
And if they're coming from there, then maybe other stuff can come through there, and maybe there's a portal or something, and it's letting aliens through, and we're going to do something about it because we're the most equipped.
Well, most importantly, now that I'm remembering all of this, we found there was a message from Crash's parents, and the thought was that if things are coming through to this side, there might be a portal to the other side, and that his parents are still alive.
That's right. Yeah, we did a whole like sonic investigation of that. Dave, did we fully come to the conclusion that was a recording saying Crash and
Yeah,
Maggie, or not
well,
Maggie, but
it got close enough that I would call the phenomenon like the EVP, right?
yeah,
So like it was a sound disturbance that sounded like someone saying Jackson and Maddie.
yeah. Okay,
But it's one of those like, do you believe that?
right.
Does it sound like that? Does it not sound like that? I
Yeah,
don't
it
know.
has plausible deniability.
But you guys seem to operate under the idea that it is something for real, because that's what led you to go on the journey to find Pirate Pete and the dive shop.
Sure, that makes sense.
But on the way back into town, you guys came across a police cruiser that had been like a speed trap. You know, the stereotypical at the edge of town behind the billboard speed trap that you evaded on the way out there because you were using no headlights and driving at like 150 miles an hour. But then on your way back into town, you drove in, and the last thing we did was that you saw that there was a lot of police activity around that spot. And you guys were thinking about whether you were going to stop or go, and that's where we kind of left it for the night.
Right, I remember that now. Colin, should we pull over?
We should probably check it out. Yeah? At least take a look.
Okay. Yeah. This is well, maybe Midge is here. Let's see who's here. And so, Dave, I'm going to pull over to the shoulder and get out of the car.
Sure. When you get out, you look over. You don't see her there, but you see another cruiser. There's the one that you saw that was parked. It's still parked there in the same spot. The other one is pulled up like in front of it, and it's got its lights on. Almost like it pulled somebody over, but you don't see any other cars. And you see there is one officer who is standing sort of right by the billboard, like in the light cast from the Welcome to Boulder City sign. Kind of a thing. But you do not see Midge yet.
So does it look like there's a car accident or something? Maybe, I think I missed some of what you said there.
No, you don't see a car accident. You just see there's the two cruisers, but you only see one officer.
Okay. Is it someone I know from town?
How familiar are you with the? Well, why don't you do a heart contact?
Yeah. Okay.
Roll, and we'll
just
see.
Thought to open up a dice roller.
Rock on. And for the benefit of the internet audience, dice rolls for this game are just going to be based on trust, because if we can't trust each other, why the hell are we playing games together?
Yeah, agreed.
So, you guys roll and just let me know how many successes you got. Sixes are success.
Where's the one? It was this great one I used for Shadowrun, and now I can't find it.
That's why I'm going analog.
Yeah. Okay, so heart contacts?
Heart contact, yeah.
Okay, so that's 3 dice. Okay, I got a 6. 6, 5, 5.
Okay. So you do know this officer, because it is One of the guys that you used to play football with before you got held back a grade.
Oh wow, so years and years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
okay.
you remember hang on. I was unprepared. I did not have my name generator ready.
Mm-hmm. Local football star.
Hold on, I got to generate a new one because that's a terrible name.
What, police officer Blake Hardbody isn't going to be good enough for you?
No.
Sounds good enough to me.
The first one that he gave me was literally Alf as the first name. And
No.
I was like, we're not introducing any character named Alf. Nope.
Yeah, X.
Alfie.
But instead you get Chris Buenaventura.
All right. Chris Buenaventura. And I'll just head over to him. Like, hey, Chris, what's going on over here?
And he actually, like, as you get across the street to him, he's actually like kind of like he has that momentary like freak out reaction where he kind of gets shocked and he turns a little bit. He even like brings his hand down to his gun.
Whoa, it's just me.
But he's like, what? Crash,
Jack,
what are you doing here, man?
Hey, I was just driving by. I was coming back into town, and I wanted to make sure everything was okay.
Oh, we have a little bit of an issue going on, but everything's under control. Don't worry.
Okay. Anything you need a hand with?
No. I just got here. I'm about to get back in the car and call for some backup. So don't worry yourself. You'll be all right.
Okay. Well, I'm with the Volunteer Search and Rescue. I'm happy to help out.
Well, I appreciate that. But just public safety reasons, we don't want to, have any troubles. So it'd be best if you move along.
So does it look like he's keeping an eye on something that's happening out in the desert away from the road?
No, it looks more like he maybe got here a little while ago and got out of his cruiser, looked around a little bit, and now he was sort of taking a breather next to the sign, for lack of a better description. Sort of like maybe somebody that saw something not great and just needed a minute, and now he's going back to his car to use the radio.
Okay. I just want to kind of look out in the desert a little bit and amplify the light a little and see if I can get a hint of what he's looking at out there.
So you look out into the desert and you don't actually see anything actively happening. But you do see there's kind of a weird scorch mark on the other police cruiser. Like it goes sort of right up the like the middle of the driver's door from the side you're standing on. And it's about 4 or 5 inches wide, and it looks like somebody just came by with like a 5-inch wide blowtorch and went up the door and onto the window. And
maybe his video card caught on fire.
Yeah, that's possible. That's too real.
Yeah. Okay. Colin, did you go over there with me, or are you waiting back by the car?
I think I was waiting back by the car.
Okay. So I'm going to head back to the car and say, Colin, maybe we should just go. There's a big scorch up the side of the car. I don't know what would have happened. Buenaventura looks freaked out.
Is everyone okay?
I do not know. He's fine. Chris is fine. But I don't know. He looks like he saw a ghost.
Ugh. That's bad.
Which, honestly, after what we've seen the last few days, would be the best possible thing to see out here. But I don't know what's up. And
ghosts don't burn things usually.
Yeah. Well, not usually, I guess. So he didn't really want me to stick around or help out. So I don't know.
Okay.
It's probably better if we just get going.
All right. Yeah. We should go.
Okay. Well, yeah. So Dave, we'll hop in the car and get out of there.
You jump in the car. You start driving back to the lab, which I assume is where you guys were heading.
Oh, before we go, I look under the car for crabs.
There are no crabs under your car that you can
Okay,
see.
that checks out.
But it's good. It's just like checking for snakes. You know. Make sure. Growing up, my mom was always terrified of snakes, and every time we'd go on a road trip through the desert, every time we got back to the car, she would make my dad check that there weren't any lurking right by her door.
That's great.
So you guys get back in the car, you start driving into town. Now we'll move back to Midge, who I think was at the
Hello.
lab with everybody still.
I was at the lab with everybody, but then we noticed that Danny had disappeared, so I went to go look for him.
Ah, okay. That's right. So, out front, you will get the radio call from Officer Buenaventura.
Okay.
That basically he stutters a lot. He's having a real hard time getting it out, but he sounds kind of freaked out. He doesn't.
Listen, Buena Vista, or Buenaventura, Buena Vista. I need you to remember your training right now, and I need you to get out what you're trying to tell me as succinctly as possible. It's been a really crazy night.
I think Ted, the new guy, Ted.
Yeah.
There was some kind of an accident, and his cruiser's burnt up, and it looks like he was caught in the fire or something. I don't know.
So it looks like a cruiser that was on fire, and he's. Do you see any sign of him?
I see part of him, and he's not gonna make it.
Okay. Damn it.
But
okay.
I don't know what code to use. Officer down, sort of, but
yeah, okay. I don't think I have anybody to spare that I can send out there right now, except maybe myself. And
okay.
I'm coming out there. Stay with the vehicle.
Okay, I'll be here.
So I'm gonna hang up with him.
Sure.
And I'm going to alert. I guess sounds like I already need to alert the coroner's office.
Yeah.
And let them know that we've got a body, and see if they've got somebody they can send out to check things out and retrieve the corpse and perform an autopsy or whatever needs to be done on what's ever is left of this guy.
Officer Ted.
Poor Officer Ted.
Alas, we hardly knew ye.
Didn't know ye at all, in fact.
It's sad when your
It
boss
was a
learns your name
most
on the day you
heinous night.
So you get a hold of the coroner's office. Basically, like the county coroner is like, we'll send out the guys. They just got back from picking up the golf course situation, but
Yeah.
I'll get them rolling your direction. No problem.
I appreciate it. Believe me, I know this is a hell of a night.
Yeah. But I'll get started on the golf course while they're doing the pickup.
Thank you. I guess I'm gonna go meet with Buenaventura.
Okay. You can start driving out there, no problem. Now
Okay.
let's hear from Danny. Where did Danny end up?
Well, once Danny left the lab, he went to go get drunk. Big surprise. So I think I told you 2 weeks ago that my plan was that he was going to go find a bar, get suitably drunk, and then in a fit of self-loathing and drunkenness, go try and find Peter.
That's right. That's right. I had forgotten that second part. So, why don't you do a heart contact to see if you successfully find old Peter?
Okay, I can do that. All right, so that would normally be 8 dice, but because I am upset and exhausted still, it's down to 6.
Oh.
That is no successes.
Okay. Do you want to stick with that, or do you want to push it?
I think I'm going to stick with that. I don't think I want to go for more pushes at the moment.
Gotcha. Okay. So you spend some time going out and searching around, but at this point you've already had a few drinks, and it's the middle of the night, and you're kind of not really thinking about like where would maybe he be hanging out. You're just like, I'm gonna go to the places I've seen that guy. So you go by the record store and he's not there, and you go by the random alleyway that your friends told you they saw him once, and he doesn't seem to be there. But you're not having any luck finding him.
So I'm wandering the streets and basically at every, certainly in the places I think he's at, but every kind of dark alley or place that I think someone might have tried to sleep for the night or set up a little place, I'm calling out for Peter. Just generally being noisy and making a ass of myself. I would demonstrate, but I'm at my house and I can't really shout.
No, that's cool.
Please
That's cool.
tell me somebody calls this in.
Oh, that's amazing.
Well, let's see. Why don't you do a heart charm?
Okie dokie.
Which one of us?
You, Nick.
Oh,
Okay.
Nick.
Yeah.
All right, I will do that. If there is, I want it to be the old lady and the old man who I.
Oh, I already had them in mind. But I just wanted to introduce the randomness.
Sure. Same number of dice and still no successes. So maybe this isn't such a great idea, Jason.
All right. So there is a call that goes in, and you hear Marge get on the radio as you're driving out to the scene for poor Officer Ted. But you hear like maybe a drunken disorderly. There's somebody wandering around this neighborhood sort of near the record shop, and he's just yelling, "Peter, Peter!" Uh, and the lady on the call, she was very upset. She said that like she was worried that maybe at first that maybe somebody lost their dog or their cat, so she went out to try and help. But then she got outside and she saw this guy sort of shuffling along and who got angry and was like, "You're not Peter. Where's Peter at?" So she ran back in her house and called for help.
For everyone listening, I'm gesticulating wildly and flipping off the imaginary lady.
But she said that she's gonna bring it up at the next homeowners association meeting.
Of course she is.
Because the
Is her name
neighborhood
Karen?
the neighborhood is getting terrible. I don't know if she's a Karen. I think she's pre-Karen. She's like the Karen.
Ah, the elder Karen.
Yeah. So I don't know
Barbara?
what the elder. Maybe
It's Barbara.
Maybe a Barbara. Yeah, maybe.
Ooh, yeah, might be.
I'll have to think about what the previous generation's Karens were.
Yeah.
This used to be such a nice neighborhood, but now you're just letting people wander through the streets. I tell you, Boulder has gone to shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna navigate through that part of town on my way to go out to meet the officer, looking actively for Danny and like shining my cruiser light down dark alleyways and stuff, trying to find him.
Unless you have an objection, Danny, I will let her find you.
No, that's fine. Let's do that.
Okay. I mean, if you want, we can roll and see how that works, but it's entirely up to you.
How is Midge? Is Midge just driving as normal? Are you running sirens? Are you using like the built-in searchlight, or what's going on?
I'm using the searchlight, but I don't have sirens or anything on.
Okay, so I'm going to assume that Danny then just thinks that it's regular car headlights because he's kind of out of his head, and so probably wouldn't notice. So I'm not going to roll a hide or anything.
Okay.
So after a few minutes of driving around and looking, you come across and you see, like, you turn onto a street and Danny is like 5 houses down, and he's just going, "Peter!" Like just yelling into the night, for poor Peter, but not having any luck so far.
And it's punctuated with things like, "We can help you. I'm sorry."
Danny.
No, I'm looking for Peter.
Danny.
What?
Get in the fucking car.
Not until I find Peter.
You know, you are really testing the limits of my patience right now. I want to help you. I want to help you so badly. But I've got bigger fish to fry. And I need you to either get in the car voluntarily, or I need to run you in and then go take care of other things. Because you've already caused a disturbance that I could put you in the tank for. Or like I said, you could just come with me.
I caused the disturbance. We caused the disturbance. We ruined that kid's life.
We'll talk about it on the way.
What? On the way
Get
to where?
in the fucking car.
What are you talking about? What could be more important? And besides, it's not like I can help anyway.
So you can't help anyone, but you're out here trying to help someone. Am I following you?
Look, he may be the only person I can help.
You're not going to be able to help him in a state like this.
In a state like what?
Listen to yourself. Look at yourself.
And yeah, he's probably slurring and, we slightly waving back and forth. Look at myself what? Yeah, I'm looking. I'm a fucking washed up failure. Everyone else has things that's going on that are great, that everything's working out for them. And I can't do anything to help any of you. I'm a worthless piece of garbage, but the least I can do is try and find this other guy who we fucked up even more than that.
Yeah, everybody else has got it real great, Danny. Everybody's doing really, really good right now. Crash doesn't think he's a human anymore. Cassie's on her way to complete mad scientist. I don't even know with Colin because he's got a fucking golden ticket and then crabs invaded his house. Like, yeah, everybody's having a really great time here. Boo-hoo. I've got this problem that I need to face down for myself, but I refuse to, and I refuse people's help. Wham. Get in the car.
What for? What, to go sit around and watch you guys play with drones and skin again?
No, I actually have something I need to investigate, and one of my officers is down. And you could help me right now by getting in the car, stop causing a disturbance in the neighborhood, and sober the fuck up.
Fine, whatever. Front or back?
You can ride up front if you want to.
Danny will in my fiction, Midge has opened up the passenger door and has been like having this conversation through that if that works for you. So I'll climb in and close the door. I'm sorry about your officer.
Good job, officer. That's the madman. Take him away.
Yes, Miss Bukowski. Chill out.
Ooh, now she has a name.
I don't know. I just made up a name. I don't
That's good enough.
know.
What have you done? What have you done?
You've given her power.
Danny leans out the window and tells her to fuck off.
You make sure to
I've
put
got
that
it
in
under
your report.
control, ma'am. Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Henry, did you hear what he said to me? And then, like, you hear her door close and the voice quiets down, but you can still hear her berating poor Henry.
Jesus, what a nosy bitch.
You're not helping anything.
That's what I said.
Yeah, well, you're actively, like, trying not to at this point.
I go sullenly quiet and stare out the window.
That works for Midge. She's gonna drive out to the other officer.
All right. On the drive out there, that's when you guys probably pass, or you see Midge's cruiser coming at you, and Crash, you would totally be able to see who's driving.
Right. Okay. So when they go by, I'm gonna, come to a stop and make a U-turn.
What? Wait, what? Why?
That was Midge. I think Colin was with her. I mean, Danny. I think Danny was with her.
Oh, okay. Should we? I mean, you think we should go back there? Didn't we tell Mitch we weren't going to do that though?
Well, I figure if she's got Danny with her, then she probably wants us too.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's bring your friend to work day.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. If you think it's so cool, okay.
Yeah, it's good. So cool. All right, we'll go catch up. I can catch up.
Okay, cool.
And I gun it.
Oh, who is this jackass driving behind us now?
Someone else who needs the tender mercy of Boulder City's finest law.
Really? You gonna treat me this way, like, for forever? Is that it? Yeah, I get it. Your friend's a dirty cop. So sorry. Just, how dare I want to actually help people, help you, help anybody?
Look, helping people is what you're good at, and it's what Crash is good at, and Colin, and even Cassie. You guys are great.
I seem to recall somebody that used to help us out a lot in more ways than he probably realized. He was the one who actually kept the band together.
Yeah, well, he went off to LA and realized he was full of shit.
You're doing this to yourself. You realize that, right?
I'm doing what to myself?
The drinking, Danny. Look, I enjoy a good drink now and again, and even getting drunk now and again. You're drunk like all the time since I got back.
Really? You think that's going to matter? You think that means anything? Here, fine. And I hand you the flask.
I'll hold on to this for now. And if you think you can stop, let's see. I want you to be
Fine.
able to.
Fine, I will.
Fine.
And then you guys pull up behind the cruiser there with its lights on, and Officer Buenaventura is standing there, and uh, he looks immensely relieved that you have arrived. And Crash and Colin, you guys pull up right behind him.
Hey, Midge, we saw you going by. I figured it'd be easier to meet up and see what's going on.
I'm here too, if that's okay.
If you guys just hang back and give me a minute,
Yeah. Okay.
I need to assess the situation and what's going on here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll just hang out over here for a minute.
Okay.
So, officer, when did you find the vehicle?
Well, I got out here to take over the shift. You know, at 1:00. That's when he was scheduled to come back in. He didn't come in. I just drove out. You know, I just came on shift. And then I got here and I found his cruiser's all scorched up and he's sort of inside. But I didn't see any footprints. I didn't see anything.
I'm going to investigate the area and go take a look at.
Okay. Why don't you roll
what there is to see?
Mind investigate.
Mind investigate. All right. That is 4 and then another 2. I got 1 success.
Okay, so that gives you 2 questions that you can ask, but I'll give you the basics of the scene.
Okay.
So, like I said, there's about a 5-inch wide scorch mark that goes up the side of the cruiser. Where it gets to the glass of the window, it almost looks like the glass bubbled a little bit, right? Like there's some distortion in the auto glass that makes it look like maybe it started to melt for a second.
Okay.
And then along the top, it like the front part of the light bar on the top, like the plastic front edge of that is all melted and looks like it is like just gone. Like the front edge of it is kind of melty and messed up. Like a bunch of it melted and dripped onto the roof. Kind
Oof.
of. And then inside, Inside is the like basically from like the upper thigh down. There are 2 legs in Boulder City PD pants.
Oh Jesus.
And then there's nothing left above that. Like it's just gone.
Gone is in like, and let me know if this is one of my questions. I'm trying to determine, like, this is obviously a high heat situation. Does the meat of the legs in what remains of the pants look cauterized?
Yes. And that doesn't count as one of your questions. That's
Okay.
obvious to see. But like what's interesting and weird about it is that it doesn't seem like everything in the car is kind of destroyed. It's almost like there was a very precise beam of heat that momentarily flashed along this line. So it was almost like it was fast enough that stuff didn't have a chance to react too much.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I get 2 questions.
Yes.
Do I know of any? I mean, obviously everybody knows about robots and they're, just generally that they're part of our
World. Sure.
world. Yeah. Have I heard of any that could specifically cause that much heat?
I mean, in theory, I mean, like,
Yeah,
you know
if that makes
like,
sense.
you know that there's like heat guns, kind of, not like ray guns, but like, it looks like maybe a super concentrated heat ray of some kind. Like, it's more science fiction than science fact.
Okay.
But like maybe.
All right. So there isn't technology that I'm aware of that I would expect could cause something like this.
Certainly not commonly
Okay.
available.
Are there any non-human tracks around?
No.
Okay.
The only footprints you see are obviously where Buenaventura walked up to the car, and then where he walked away from the car.
Okay. But there's no like weird tire tracks or something unusual.
The only tire tracks you see are the ones where it looks like he pulled the cruiser in and parked it behind the sign here.
Okay.
Probably there's like a couple of tire tracks that look like that because this is probably like a common spot.
Sure.
So like
that's fair.
But they're all like they go under the car, so like no other car pulled in here just tonight.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's cordon off the area. I have the coroner coming. I'm going to have samples taken while they're here alongside the removal of what's remains of the body for further testing. It's kind of all we can do for this right now.
Okay. Let's see.
So, walking around in the dark, and is there anything that like one of us can see?
Like, how close do you want to walk up to this scene?
10 feet-ish away? I mean, is there, I don't know, any directionality from where the beam might have come from? Did it go through the sign? Was it the other side?
No, you don't actually see any damage on the sign.
Okay.
You do see like down. I'll give this to everybody. You do see down at the base of like underneath the car door on the ground. There's a spot where like some of the sandy dirt has almost been glassed, right? Like it was heat high enough that there's like a sheen, and then like where Buenaventura's foot stopped when he looked in the window of the car, like it crunched and fractured the ground there a little bit. So like just the surface of the earth, just a tiny brush with super high heat. But you don't see any other external damage. For free, I'll give you on the other side of the car, it doesn't look like there's any damage. It's like just this one side, and that's it.
Okay. You just sort of wander around in the dark, I guess.
Hey, Crash, do you think it's the robot body thief?
I guess it could be, but I don't remember him having anything that could get this hot. Like, what would be the point of that? And what would he want with the cop?
Well, he seemed like he was a couple Fruit Loops short of a bowl of cereal, if you get my meaning.
Yeah.
I think that, like, if he was obsessed with bigger, more powerful arms, it's not a stretch to think that he would have been obsessed with some other sort of weaponry. And the mental state he was in, if that cop saw him, he might be thinking about no witnesses.
Yeah. Huh. Maybe we should spread out a little and see if we can see those types of footprints. Because Bonaventura is not going to know what to look for.
Sure.
Sure.
How close do you want to get to it, Crash?
Oh, I'll go right up to it until somebody tells me not to.
Okay.
He's a volunteer search and rescue.
Yep.
I want you to have like a little badge that you just carry.
Trust me, I'm a professional.
When you get close to it, your and I don't say this to try and mean anything other than just what it is. Your optical sensors get real staticky
when I get close to the car itself.
When you get close to the car with the burn mark on it. Like real, like almost like there's like star streaks, like Star Trek style warp speed streaks.
Huh.
Like moving past your vision when you get close to it.
And if I back up, does it clear up?
Yeah.
Okay. So Nick's with me because we were just talking. Where's Colin at this point?
I'm about, let's see, you guys are right up at the car, so I'm probably about 10, 15 feet behind you.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to turn to talk to Danny and Colin. Because Midge is over talking to the officer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, guys, I can't get close to this thing. It like fuzzes out my vision. I want to get a closer look, but I don't want to get any. I probably shouldn't get any closer to the car.
Fuzzes out your vision?
How?
It just goes streaky. You know, like when your TV isn't quite tuned in right, and you got to fuss with the antenna. It's kind of like that.
What would do that?
I don't know. There must be some sort of residual, maybe radiation or frequency emitter or something in the car. Maybe it's magnetized.
Radiation?
Yeah, something like that. It's probably a magnet. It took us a long time for Cassie to figure out that the magnets make me sick. Maybe can one of you get closer with like a paperclip or something and see?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Well, okay.
Danny starts walking towards the car and reaches into his pocket where he normally keeps the metal flask, but of course it's not there. So I pat my pockets until I find something else, like a key ring.
And you're gonna try and like stick it to the car?
I'm going to see if it like starts to tug or pull as I hold it, and I'm going to keep getting closer and seeing if anything reacts that way.
It doesn't seem to be magnetic.
Midge definitely flashes Danny a look of like, the fuck are you doing?
Danny mouths, "I'm helping."
I'm gonna try to wave Midge over.
I back up from the car and say to Crash, "I'm not feeling any sort of magnetics. Could it be radiation or something?"
Maybe. I mean, everything gives off a little radiation. I just don't know what would make this instant little burn.
Midge will come over and kind of wave the other officer back to stay by the car to come back over and talk to you guys.
Hey, so the burn, that burn mark,
Yeah.
I went over to get a closer look at it, and my eyes, my sensors went all wonky, like out of focus, and I couldn't really see properly. Nick, you didn't notice anything like that, right? We can't hear you.
Sorry, I had the chat bar open, so it was just spacing there.
Yeah.
Dave didn't describe anything, so I'm going to assume no.
No, yeah, I know.
Yeah, so, and it's not magnets. So I knew you were going to ask, and it's not that.
Way to get ahead of me there. Thank you. Midge is going to look up at the sky and see if she can spot anything that looks like maybe even the... I'm worrying now that it has something to do with the like air pirate radio people.
Oh,
I didn't even think of that.
Since there's no tracks around that we've seen.
You don't see them anywhere close by.
Okay.
Like certainly not with it. Like guesstimating how fast one of those things could go, you'd assume that there's nowhere they could have gotten out of sight by now, unless they turned off all their lights and ran into the night. But even before you know that they didn't have all their lights turned off when other people in the party encountered them before, they always kept their like bare minimum safety running lights according to...
Yeah, I just thought I would see if anything was receding into the distance or not, but...
No, not that you see.
I'm worried that this hit was from something not earthbound. Anybody?
Aliens?
Also for free, I will give you there are no UFOs in the sky. Like you look up and you see nothing unusual in the sky.
Yeah, you mean like the radio pirates, right?
Yeah.
Magnetrine. Yeah, I mean the thing that is weird is just like the fact that this is still giving off some sort of ambient effect, and it got so hot, it's like a little mini nuke went off or something. Like but how that doesn't make any sense. That's just a wild guess based on the parameters. If you had told me the sand turned to glass, I wouldn't have believed you. That sounds like a crazy exaggeration.
Is it on the side of the car that faces towards town?
Yes.
I wonder if it came all the way from town.
You mean like, was fired from town?
Yeah, like, you know, if someone had some sort of radiation gun in town.
Or they could have done it on their way by. I mean, it could be a drive-by.
Can I
so, yeah.
Based on what Colin is saying, can I put myself in the path that it would have traveled if it had been town, like sight down that line? See if there's anything that stands out to me.
Sure. You can look in towards town, and there's really nothing in a direct line of sight, except for there's eventually you can see one of the big reactor towers of the loop in the distance. But I mean, you could kind of make that argument from almost any angle, because those are the only real tall things in town.
I want to walk in that direction a little while and see if maybe I can find another set of tracks, like if this was some sort of projectile.
I'm going to walk with him.
Okay.
Don't leave me behind.
You guys...
let's all go. Let's take a closer look. Midge, you still have to deal with this with Officer Buenaventura.
I do, but I'll keep an eye on your progress.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the coroner's office to get here.
Cool. Do you have one of those big heavy flashlights? I got nothing here.
Yeah, it's just grab it from the cruiser.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah.
So I go grab a police mag light.
8-cell mag light, man. Yeah.
I don't want to turn it on. I just want something heavy in my hand.
Oh yeah. That's the epitome of 90s cool right there.
Yep.
I can light up the night and kill you.
Mm-hmm.
As the three of us walk, Danny is kind of bumping into the other two periodically.
I say nothing.
Danny, are you watching where you're going there?
Yeah, it's just it's dark. I can't quite, my foot's turning.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Do you want the light on? I guess I could turn this on. I didn't want to wreck our night vision. You're muted.
You guys both have night vision?
Well, everyone has night vision, Colin. You could see better in the dark if you don't flash a light in your face.
Right, but most of us don't have dark vision like you have dark vision.
Well, I'm just saying, if I turn the light on, everyone's going to see worse in the dark when I turn it off. So, do you want me to turn it on or leave it off for now?
Well, are you able to see anything better?
Yeah, I can see just fine without it. It's fine.
Well, are there any kind of big tracks or anything here, like from the thief?
I'm looking. Dave, should I roll anything or?
I for free, I will give you that no, you don't see any tracks that are obvious.
Okay.
If you really want to spend some time, because I mean it's a big desert, so it would take a long time to like pace out a 50-yard perimeter.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, and you're welcome to try that if you need to, but
quit following red herrings, says Dave.
Like, if that's what you want to investigate, please go for it.
No, I just don't think. It seems like whatever this was probably came from far away or was here and left. That's my in-character assessment. So yeah. I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna find anything out here.
Yeah, well, I was just trying to do
Danny,
something.
Look out! And I like jump and point at Danny's feet as if there's like a snake or something.
Danny has a delayed reaction, but goes, what? And probably falls over.
He crashes a dick.
Yeah. Correct.
What? I don't see anything.
Oh, it was just a shadow. Sorry, I thought it was a scorpion.
A scorpion?
Yeah, man, we're in the desert.
I don't know, guys. I don't know if we should keep going this way.
No, let's head back. There's nothing out here.
And about this time, the coroner van pulls up, and a couple of tired but efficient civil servants emerge and put on their protective gloves and stuff, and then they kind of start walking towards the cruiser after Buenaventura kind of points them in the right direction.
Try and get some samples of the scorching as well. We need to analyze what could have possibly done this, and if there's anything we can glean from that.
Sure, no problem. We'll call a tow truck out here to get the cruiser later. But they go about their grisly business. I mean, I don't feel the need to describe them doing all their stuff, but, you know, they collect the rest of Officer Ted.
I'm going to assume that there's some sort of police procedures in place that Midge or somebody is removing the shotgun and the radio, and I mean, if it's going to be out here before the tow truck comes, you can't just leave leave whatever's in there.
Sure, yeah, that's fine. Buenaventura
we'd
will
be
do
following
that.
all of them.
Yeah, that's logical.
Well, now what, guys?
To
Now
the
what
exclusion zone?
indeed?
Do we go to the exclusion zone?
Yeah, I mean, I think we kind of have to. That's all that's left to do.
Let's see, it's late though, right? Out of character.
Yeah, I mean, by now it's probably 1 o'clock in the morning. Like,
Ugh.
it's late.
Maybe we should we all go get some rest?
That was going to be my suggestion.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I don't.
Plus, how much are we going to be able to see in pitch black water at this point?
Yeah, I don't want to go out there on a half charge. So, yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna swing by the hospital, see if Maddie wants to go home, and we'll go get some rest.
The answer is yes. She totally does want to go home. By the time you get back to the hospital and get her, she was totally like. Even at first glance, you get the, I'm keeping it together because my brother said to keep it together.
Yeah.
But it would be real nice to not be dealing with this right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll collect her and make sure everyone at the hospital is okay. Is everyone stable and in good condition?
Yeah. Claudia is still unconscious.
Okay.
But they did some minor surgery on her wounds, and she seems okay.
Damn it, Dave! I care about these characters a lot more now that we played as them.
They're real people.
I mean, I cared before, but now, oh man. All right. So yeah, I'll once we check in with everyone and say our goodbyes, I'll take Maddie back and we'll get put away for the evening.
Okay. So you guys all head home for the night. Are you taking Danny home, Midge?
Yeah, I guess I kind of have to.
Okay.
To whose home?
I don't think right now is the time for the Canon Crush or anything.
Man.
Every time, all the time, it's time for Canon Crush.
Shipping. That was the word I couldn't remember.
I like Canon Crush better. The latest game. My dog's losing her mind. I have to mute.
Go ahead.
No, definitely taking Danny back to his home and probably not really saying anything to him along the way. I think I probably just look very thoughtful and kind of intense right now.
Danny isn't talking much either. He's pretty sullen and probably looking out the other window, looking over towards Midge, but then if there's any indication that she's going to be looking back at him, looking back the other way.
So, you get back to Danny's house, and in the driveway is Danny's dad's car, and right next to the car is this bright, fiery red convertible Mercedes SL that is pretty brand new. Like, it looks real nice, and it's taking up the other spot in the driveway.
Oh, fuck me.
What?
Listen, can you drive me to the Three Pines Motel?
What's going on?
That's Lisa's car. I cannot fucking deal with this right now. Can you just take me someplace I can get this that I can sleep? Take me to fucking Jack's. I don't care. I'll sleep in the back.
Don't be stupid. I've got a room.
Danny looks really uncomfortable, but doesn't argue.
I'll drop you at the motel, but
I don't.
we used to be friends, Danny.
Ooh, sorry, out of character, but damn. It's not that he hasn't been deserving that, but yeah, I don't want to put you out or anything.
Not any more than has already occurred. I want you to have a good night's sleep, and I want you to sleep things off.
Yeah, fine, thanks. No, that's I really appreciate it.
Think I could clear up one of those conditions for you?
Well, let's see. We've got scared and upset and exhausted. I'm not sure that this is going to clear upset, but exhausted maybe.
Fair enough.
So do a heart lead roll.
Yeah, I just realized I have 3 conditions too. Does sleeping clear any of it?
If you've got exhausted marked, and you get through this night without anything interrupting you, sure.
Okay.
I got 1 success.
Okay. 1 success will clear a condition. So, giving Danny a safe place to actually just sleep it off would help with exhausted if he wants.
No, I think that works. That sounds good.
Cool.
Rock on. So, you guys go to bed. You wake up the next morning, and the world seems like a normal place. There has not been an invasion of vampire death alien crabs. There has not been a robot uprising with heat rays murdering all the rest of the police force. From what you can tell, like, things kind of haven't gotten any worse 8 hours later. Colin's mom seems like she actually went off to sleep eventually, and was okay after her close encounter with the vampire crabs. Maddie is still completely knocked out, right? So by the time you finish your charge cycle and get up in the morning, Maddie is totally just unconscious still.
Okay, I'm gonna start making pancakes.
Pancakes!
And then try and call Cassie. I've got the phone like perched.
While you're cooking the pancakes?
Yeah.
For sure. You can get a hold of her. I forget, we left her doing tests on the crab meat, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So, if collectively, if you guys want to roll like mind investigate, like whoever's better at that can roll it. That's fine.
I've got a 5 and a 2.
So 7 dice altogether.
7 dice.
I've got 6.
Yeah, we got 5 total.
Okay. So if you want to do 7 plus everybody else roll 1 die.
I got a whole lot of nothing when I rolled my 1 die.
I got 3 successes with my 7.
Nothing here.
Snap. Okay, so with 3 successes, you get 4 questions about the biology of the crab or anything that Cassie could have reasonably researched about the crab overnight. And you guys can collectively figure out what questions you want.
All right.
You mean we want to know where it comes from?
Okay. It is absolutely like nothing else on this planet. Like, it does not fall into the same, like, she managed to use a microscope and kind of look at some of the leftover blue blood, and it doesn't match up with the blood cells of, like, the horseshoe crab. Like, that's the closest thing to it, but that's not right. It's an entirely different evolutionary path. So either it's completely undiscovered or it's completely alien.
All right. So complete alien is a pretty reasonable assumption at this point.
I think so.
Does it have any weaknesses?
I mean, I don't think she's had time to like test it against every natural Earth pathogen that she has access to, kind of, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there's no specific. Like she probably tried. Like, it's probably got an aversion to bleach. You know, it's got
okay.
Sort of things, biological things wouldn't like so much.
Okay.
Work on it as well.
Okay.
But there's no like, oh yeah, when I put 2 drops of iodine on it, it incinerates itself. There's nothing that obvious and extreme.
Okay.
It's not hurt by selenium.
Right. Yeah.
Or the common cold.
Nor like average water doesn't cause problems. It's not a poorly planned alien invasion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is and I don't know if this is already included with its of alien origin. Did Cassie's information do anything about telling us like what kind of atmosphere that it would be most comfortable in, or if breathing our atmosphere has a problem?
It seems to use nitrogen in a way that humans and most things on Earth use oxygen. So it does okay here because there's still nitrogen in the atmosphere.
It would probably be like supercharged because our atmosphere is mostly nitrogen.
Yeah, but I mean, like, supercharged in that way that, like, if you're breathing pure oxygen, yeah, you're a little bit better, but
Oh, it's high. It's totally got nitrogen
Yeah.
high.
Like, you'd think, like, it would do better at, like, high altitude. Like, if the crabs tried to climb Mount Everest, they'd do all right. Like, that kind of thing.
I will say, when you were describing it, my brain jumped from nitrogen to nitroglycerin, and I was like, what? They breathe what?
They breathe explosions
Yeah.
But their
into
hearts
the
are all.
fiery maw of the crab people. Ah.
But their hearts are all very regular.
Yes, indeed.
So no, not nitroglycerin, nitrogen.
So, well, was that our 3 questions?
That
I
was
guess. Yeah.
3 questions. You have one more.
Oh, okay. Anybody else?
So you said a leg to work from, right?
Well, she had like the leg and sort of like the connective tissue of the leg. So like I don't know what the actual term is for it, but like crab pelvis, kind of. I mean,
Was it a boy crab or a girl crab?
I don't think she had that part of the crab, just sort of the side.
I know, I'm being a dick.
Crab Pelvis is going to be the name of my maritime Elvis cover band. I'm gonna write sea shanties like Elvis songs.
Dave, what's wrong?
Easily broken.
Oh boy. What a night.
Okay, so no, it is not Crab Elvis. As much as I love it, the idea of this murderous vampire crab on stage in a bunch of rhinestones and sequins.
Yeah. So Crab Elvis is still out there, is what you're telling me.
I mean, he's still alive for sure.
Yep. Got it.
I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Don't step on my blue kindness exoskeletons.
So after talking to Cassie about this, I guess we didn't use our 4th question. Maybe we'll think of it in a minute.
That's fine.
But I'm gonna call everybody else and just say, hey, I'm making pancakes. I'm gonna wait until Maddie wakes up, and just individually making this call. I don't know if we have to go through and do it all 3 times, but and because I can't fucking text anyone. Just invite everyone over, because I'm gonna wait until Maddie gets up and I'm making food. And if anyone wants to come over, they're welcome to.
Quick question: is there an awkward moment when Crash finds that both Danny and Midge are at Midge's place?
I guess that's important because I would have called. Let's say I called Danny's house first, and they said you hadn't come home. And then I called Midge.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's okay for sure.
So my first question would be like, Midge, did Danny get home okay?
No.
Is he what happened?
He's sleeping it off here.
Oh. Okay.
Apparently, Lisa was back and he didn't want to interact with her, and I don't want to fight with him anymore.
Sure. Okay. That's okay. Yep. Cool. Well, anyway, I'm making pancakes. I don't know if y'all maybe you have plans already, but I was going to call
There are
Colin.
0 plans, and pancakes sound awesome, and Lord knows he could probably do with eating something.
Okay. Okay, cool. I'll put on more coffee, and I'll call Colin.
Yeah, make like all the coffee you have.
Yeah, okay.
No, I think you may have heard that I want a lot of coffee.
She wants
That is
all of the coffee,
that
not
is
just a lot.
one
all
of the
of
best
it.
scenes in all of television. Okay, so we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. So
I
unless
assume I'm going to have to go wake Danny up.
oh for sure.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Go pound on the door. Danny, get up. We're going to go have pancakes.
Oh, so loud. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Hold on. And
I'll be downstairs. Get ready. And Crash is making pancakes. And yeah.
Ooh, crash cakes. Sweet.
Yeah.
So I'll pull on my pants and rumple clothes, and make my way downstairs. Listen, I'm sorry. I was gonna say about last night, but I mean, I'm just sorry.
Thank you. Danny,
I think as you say that, he also says, "Hey, pancakes."
yeah, pancakes. But no, you know what? No, I'm not going to be distracted by that. I need to get this off my chest, okay? Coming
right.
back to this town was really fucking hard. Really fucking hard. And the thing that I was hoping for was to come back and at least maybe see everybody again. Maybe you guys would give a damn about me coming back. And then I want better for you than this, Danny. You deserve better than you're giving yourself. And you don't have to say anything. Let's go get some fucking pancakes. I just needed to say it.
Yeah. Yeah, pancakes.
I imagine it is a very solemn drive over to Crash's.
I think that's fair.
Okay. Unless there's any objections, everybody can meet up at Crash's for pancakes and coffee. So you're all there.
Cool. I think quietly in the background on the hi-fi is one of our old band tapes.
Out of character, I just have to say I love how you keep poking with that.
It's Crash's idea of like subtlety. So
you guys get there uneventfully, and it's breakfast time.
And Maddie's still asleep?
Unless you wake her.
Mm-mm. I do make sure that she's in there.
She's 100% in there and just knocked out.
Yeah, okay.
Not in an evil way. Not
right.
She's someone didn't invade the house last night and club her on the back of the head with a blackjack.
Got it.
She is just teenagers sleeping.
Yep, I'm familiar.
Has anyone seen the end of Almost Famous?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So We could talk out here in the dining room. Maddie's all the way down the other end of the house. We'll just keep our voices down. So talked to Cassie this morning, and it's crab thing's definitely an alien.
Wait, really?
Mm-hmm. Like as sure as anyone can be.
Of fucking course it is. And Danny pinches his the bridge of his nose.
And it I guess I don't know, she said something about it eats nitroglycerin, I think, which is pretty weird. And out of character, what was the other thing we learned?
Let's
It's
see.
alien, it's nitrogen, and it doesn't have any weaknesses. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yes.
And then we still have a fourth question.
No known
collectively.
obvious weaknesses.
Yeah. And it's invincible.
Awesome.
Invincible?
Great information.
Well, I mean, a car drove over one, so that's good.
What do
Vampire
you know
Crabs
about
from Outer Space sounds like an amazing band, but not so great for Boulder City.
I guess part of me is wondering, just with what we've observed from them, if just the way that they move together. I mean, do crabs ever have like drones where they have like the lead crab?
I don't.
Queen? They're not.
That
like
doesn't
ants.
sound like regular crabs to me.
They're alien crabs, so they're not going to be like regular crabs.
Well,
exactly.
right.
I just wonder with the swarming and the just everything that they do, they seem to operate in a different way.
Yeah, maybe more like an insect.
Maybe these crabs are more like that. I mean, to your point, I mean, it's just not how crabs are.
So, out of character.
Damn it! I am a deputy sergeant, not a crab expert.
Out of character, crabs do tend to, in crabbing season. For anybody that's ever watched The Deadliest Catch, they literally can be like a carpet of crabs on the bottom of the sea, that are all kind of moving along and munching, and yeah. So that's not completely outside normal crab biology, but most crabs don't stab things and drain them of blood.
Thank you for adding carpet of crabs to my Rolodex of nightmares.
Yeah. If you legitimately wake up afraid at some point, I expect a text message, no matter what time of day or night. If you're like, is that the crab carpet?
For the record, crab carpet is worse.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Do the crab curtains match the crab carpet?
Yeah, I mean, crabs in your carpet are different from a carpet of crabs.
That's all fair.
I want to bring up sort of an out of character question. I don't know if we want to turn this into an in character question since we're sort of holding off on one of those. Do we have any idea why an alien life form that primarily breathes nitrogen is sucking blood out of humans, which would be a complete evolutionary weird thing? Do they need the iron or the hemoglobin, or what is up with that? And I don't know.
I'm fine with that being the last question, personally.
Okay. She doesn't see that there's a reaction to human blood, other than perhaps that's just the way these crabs hunt, and humans got in their way. kind of like sharks. They don't specifically eat humans, but if a dumbass human gets in their mouth, they might eat some.
Yeah, it could be that we sort of look similar to their prey, and they went after humans, and then went, oh, gross. Ew, David, no.
Or, yum, this is tasty.
That would be unfortunate.
Maybe.
Hopefully that didn't happen.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's the other way around and we're basically empty calories, like they somehow think that they're getting something out of it, but they're not.
Delicious juice boxes.
We're Twinkies? You're saying we're Twinkies?
Pretty much.
Are you saying we're not, though?
Fair enough. Very fair.
Negative. I am a meat popsicle.
Do we have that movie yet?
I'll check the Google.
Because if we don't, Midge just said something real weird.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. That was Mac, not Midge.
Yeah, I like it.
Not 1997, so not yet.
Oh, it's
close.
so close. I thought it was more 99 than 97, but
97 sounds right. It was like mid-college for me. Okay, gang. So what if I don't know how they got all the way out in the woods. I mean, maybe they're wandering out of the water. They were real pale from being away from the exclusion water, because as soon as we put some of that back on them, they turn blue again. So maybe they're wandering around, starving. They don't know what they're doing. They hunt the first thing they come after. They see the people in the woods, and they're wandering around and confused, and they're just dumb animals. So whatever. But we got to go in the water and see what's going on. We were already talking about this. Colin and I got a couple of dry suits. I'm happy to wear one. I mean, maybe we just send one person down. We've got a backup suit that way. Why don't I go down there and see what I can see, come back, and we make a plan.
You're not going by yourself.
There's no reason to risk two people. I don't have to breathe. I don't need air tanks. It's just going to be a lot simpler if I go by myself.
Somebody should be watching your back.
I agree.
I definitely agree. But don't volunteer.
No, you don't need to. I am.
What? Have you been diving before?
I'm not worried about it.
I am, though. Like, what? This is going to get complicated.
Mr. Oh, we can't do this by ourselves. We got to get together and work on things. You're not going by yourself.
No, I mean, I need you in the boat and then, to haul me out.
Is that suit even going to fit you, Midge? It looks like it's been fitted.
Has it been?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question, Dave.
Colin, bus, Colin.
Oh, no.
I mean, it's not like a wetsuit. So, I honestly, in my head, I don't know how big of stature Colin versus Midge.
I am not a big dude.
Okay.
I am a little scrawny dude.
So, I don't know how big Midge is.
Not average.
So, I'm okay either way. However you guys want to work that out.
So, like 6'6", Midge?
Yeah, that sounds average to me.
Yeah, nailed it.
Yeah.
We're not talking about Midge's intimidation factor. We're just talking about actual physical size.
Oh, yeah, that was I did the equation already. I just didn't show my work.
Right. It's just heavily weighted on the look of disdain.
Okay. So let's just consider this logically. We've got a little drone we can send down there to scout out ahead of time. Then we can go down to follow it if it doesn't immediately get destroyed. But the thing is, it's a lot less complicated for me to go. It doesn't really matter how deep it gets. It doesn't matter, if, I'm not going to take air with me. It's, they can't like slice my breathing tube and then suddenly I'm toast. Like I'm just a little bit sturdier, and there's no reason for the rest of you to be in like immediate danger when, I can have you in the boat ready to pull me out.
Bullshit. From what you told me, if that water gets on you, it's 10 times worse than it is for anybody else. You're just as vulnerable if they cut your breathing cord or if they breach your suit as any of us are.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to have a breathing line. That's the point. It's going to be sealed off.
You are not going alone.
Agreed.
Sorry about it, pal.
Listen, someone reminded me that we all work best together than trying to be alone. We're not letting you go down there alone.
We do work best together.
All right. Well, I don't want to argue about it. It's fine.
Good.
I guess you can decide who wants to go with me into the deep dark.
I'm going.
Okay. So you guys want to head out to the exclusionary zone?
Yeah, I just want to wait till Maddie's up to make sure I can check in with her first.
Okay. How long are you going to wait?
Well, at least until my human friends are done eating.
Okay.
And then if she's still not up, I'll go check on her.
Okay. Well, she's still not up.
Oh, okay. So I'll go into her room and be like, sort of knock on the door that's already open. Like, Maddie?
And she kind of sits up, like,
yeah,
like
bolts
up from bed, like hair is a madness.
Yeah.
Like, it is looking into the eye of an elder god is to see her hair in the morning.
Yeah, I think we both have pretty curly hair. So okay, sorry. It's pretty late morning. There's a big pile of pancakes in the dining room, and I have to go out. And I didn't want to leave without telling you.
Okay. All right.
All right. So you can go back to sleep if you want, but there's also a bunch of food. I'll put some tinfoil on it.
Have you heard anything from
the
hospital or?
No, I don't know anything new. But
okay.
I'm fine. Like if you want to have your friends come over here, that's great. But I'd really love it if you didn't go out today.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Because we just don't know what's going on with those crab things.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you going to be safe?
Yeah. I'm not doing anything with that. I'm gonna go over to the lab for a bit, and then we have to do some research.
Okay. You remember the deal we made?
Out of character, no.
If it's gonna be a problem, we're both going to Grandma and Grandpa's house.
Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna find out if it's a problem. Like Cassie's doing research on this thing. We're trying to figure out what's what, and we're gonna figure out what to do.
Okay. Yeah. I'll go eat some breakfast, and then I'm gonna call my friends. See what's going on.
Okay, great.
But I'll stay home today.
Great. I'll check in. When I can. I've got my pager. Just stay in touch.
Okay. I can do that.
Okay. I'll see you this afternoon.
Okay.
Everyone ready to go?
Let's do the thing.
Yeah.
Let's roll.
Okay, cool. Dave, I think I probably have a Zodiac kind of boat. This had come up early on in the season, and we hadn't gone to get it. But I imagined that I have like a Zodiac raft kind of thing in the garage.
I think you guys used it.
Yeah, we had something. I don't
like when you went out and you got close to the radio pirates.
Yeah,
right.
I just don't remember if that was my boat or like.
I think that was Colin's.
Was it?
Oh,
yeah,
maybe
Colin,
it
was that your boat?
Yeah, it was my boat, my little boat.
Okay.
So I'll go back and get my boat.
Okay.
Okay. When you guys go by Colin's house, Colin, your mom has left a note that she is going off to see her friends from church,
Mm.
and she's not home.
It just says friends from church.
Yeah.
Everything okay?
I mean, unless you specifically don't want her to have once gone to church and had friends there.
No, that's fine. I'm just trying
Okay.
to remember how long it's been since she went and who her friends were and where they live and how far away it is. And okay. It's just odd. But it's okay. All right. I mean, obviously it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
I'm not too worried about that. Okay. All right. We'll go get the boat.
You can drag your boat out of your garage. The bottom part of the garage door is all kind of messed up, but it takes a little work, but you get the door open. And you can drag your boat out. Now, is everybody wanting to go on the boat?
Yeah.
Well, I actually have a question here.
Okay.
So as Danny, so what's the plan? Are you just going to walk out from the pier? Are we going to try and lower you from a boat? Or how's this all going to work?
Dave, correct me if I'm wrong. The exclusion zone is all like in the middle of town for the most part, right? Like not out by the boat launch or anything.
Yeah, it's not. It's actually only a couple of blocks from Colin's house. And there's kind of, they've set up the concrete barriers along the end of the road where the water comes up to.
Mm-hmm.
And then beyond that, you can tell the water gets deeper because, right at the beginning, it's only a couple of inches, and then by the time you go a couple of houses down the block, maybe it's a foot deep, and then a little farther, it's a little deeper than that.
Yeah.
It's not like a sudden drop off in elevation or something, where suddenly it's 50 feet deep or anything.
So we're gonna have to get in the boat and head out there. But Midge and I can walk the boat out most of the way. We'll walk next to the boat.
I mean,
works for me.
You guys have successfully gone out there before.
Yeah. I was just mainly thinking 4 people in shallow water might the boat might not go super good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys can get it to the point where the boat would float.
Okay.
And be able to, lower the little motor into the water and, that stuff. It's not that far a walk into the water to get it like that.
But just so it's been said, before we even leave the car, as we get out of the car and we have the boat and our dry suits and everything, my dry suit is 100% sealed up before we even walk the boat over to the water. because I am extremely paranoid about what's happening.
Sure. Do you have your whole helmet on and everything too?
Yeah, everything.
No problem.
But I haven't really said anything about it. I'm just like, we park, we get out. There's, the boat's on the roof or whatever because we went to Colin's, and I'm just getting out, getting changed in the, behind the Jeep.
You do get a couple of looks from a couple of the people that live at the end of the street.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, it's kind of weird. Like, you can tell there's a couple of people that are like, who's this coming to the end of the street? Why do they have a boat? Why is that guy putting on, like, a scuba suit?
Midge, should you call the station and tell them not to worry if someone calls in?
I'm not sure that's the best course of action.
What happens if someone calls us in?
I turn back and look at like the people who are watching us. I think I'm gonna flash my badge at them.
Okay.
So if they're like, hopefully see it and be like, oh, okay.
So why don't you do a heart charm?
Okay.
Standard police procedure, ma'am.
Let's see. Okay. Roll them dice. Nope. Shit.
Okay.
Oh. I'm debating when is the time to push them. You gotta know when to hold them and when to fold them. But we also don't want anybody up in our grills about this either.
Can I help by flashing my badge as well?
Please don't. Sir, please put that back.
Sir, this is a Denny's. Sir.
I'm gonna mark a condition and re-roll.
Okay, go for it.
All right, I'm gonna mark upset because I think I'm pretty upset at this point.
That's legitimate.
And I got 2 successes.
Oh, okay. So, your first success, you successfully demonstrate the fact that you are a legitimate police officer and have business doing whatever weird science is happening out here with a boat and a couple of divers. With your second success, you can pick. They keep believing you, so if you come out here again, people will just go, "Oh, it's Officer Johansen," and even though you're not an officer, but you know what I mean. They will take risks to help you. So if your boat gets in trouble, maybe somebody along here might attempt to help. They will try and persuade other people to believe you. So if anybody else happens by, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, don't worry. It's the police. They know what they're doing." Or they are frightened, confused, or impressed. Or this one's kind of weird, but we can make it work. They're infatuated.
Oh, definitely that last one. No, just
okay. I mean, we can make it happen.
I'm just kidding. Super kidding. I don't need that. I think that they would try the one where they would talk other people into believing it as well.
Oh, okay. Sure.
So if somebody else happens by, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, it's police business. It's fine.
Yeah, don't worry. That boat's fine." There's like tentacles wrapping around it and dragging the boat under. It's police business. It's fine.
No, we're all fine here. Thanks. How are you?
So yeah, no problem. And Crash, you can don your helmet and be prepared to be in a sealed environment.
I forget when Cassie designed the little drone. Does the remote have a little view screen on it or something? Like how do we see what the drone is doing?
if I remember correctly, she made like a really good roll
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
making
I
the
remember.
drone. So I sure, yeah, it's got a rudimentary camera system on it.
Okay.
Like it probably doesn't have like extensive quality to the video, but you can see what it can see.
Yeah. A little like black and white, 4-inch
Yeah,
screen
yeah,
or something like that. Yeah.
for sure. And it probably even has like some built-in lighting. Like there's
Yeah.
two, like some of the knuckles light up. You know.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, never mind. Strike that. She didn't turn the hand into the drone. She had a drone and she covered in faux
Yes.
flesh.
Yes.
So,
Which
so
isn't horrible at all.
no, it is. It is a fleshy drone. That
I'm
is.
so proud.
Flesh.
Yeah, that's real gross. But it's pliable and ready to dive into the waters of the exclusionary zone.
Does it look
You're not
like just
helping.
just like a lump? Like what does this thing look like?
So in my head, it looks a lot like one of those, like the drones you've seen pictures of that are like exploring sea wrecks,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like the Titanic. Um, and then like, but now it is covered in pinkish flesh. Uh,
Okay.
yeah. So it's still got like little like propeller thruster things. And the propellers themselves aren't covered in flesh, but like the rest of the drone body is.
I just
Great.
imagined that the propellers were a couple pairs of
Just-
ears.
Like flappy bits. Just
Thanks, I hate it.
Why does it have to look like that?
But yeah. It's even like warm.
It's a warm flesh tube.
Why?
Okay.
Why, CADave? Why?
Because I mean, like
Why?
when you touch Crash, his skin feels normal, and it's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
same stuff. Like that's
Once we're underway, I'm gonna plunk this thing into the water and hand the controller to Colin. Like, all right, I'm gonna let
the
me know what you see
controller
down
is
there.
completely normal plastic.
Oh, the controller's wrapped as well to keep it safe with little nubbins.
Have you ever seen that movie Existenz?
Yes,
Oh
Yeah.
God, yes.
that was
Oh,
fucked
that's
up and will
horrible.
never leave my brain.
Ah,
Yeah.
beautiful.
So now in my head, I think more than a like submersible drone, it looks much like platypus. Kind of.
Yeah, that's what I was picturing, like a hairless platypus, otter, beaver kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah. Hmm.
Wow, I was imagining this sort of like a ray.
Oh, yeah, that would be much more pleasant.
It is not that.
Yes, it would.
None of this is pleasant. Nothing you described, nothing anyone has said so far
It's a
Yeah.
is a pleasant thing to look at.
Worst case scenario. is what
hairless,
we're-
billless platypus
Yep. That's a nightmare.
with a
I love
camera and
it
a
so
light
much.
instead of a face. Okay. So after you get into the water, you deposit your fleshy friend into the exclusionary zone C. And yeah.
Colin has the helm.
Okay, so I'm looking at the little screen, and what I guess I make it go down.
Okay. You pilot it out in front of the boat,
Hmm.
and the water gets to be 6, 7, 8 feet. Um, it doesn't get a lot deeper than that. Um, even well out into the exclusionary zone, you still see rooftops of like the homes that were flooded and stuff, the single story jobs along there. There's a couple of spots where there's like a multi-story condo complex that the bottom. By the time you get out to those, it's like the bottom floor and a third are kind of underwater. So it's maybe 15 feet deep by then, but not a ton of light penetrates the water below about 10 feet. Because the water is very silty and brownish, and it's got this kind of brackish water, still water smell to it that's kind of gross. But aside from the detritus of a flooded town, you don't see a lot with the drone. Oh, what's that?
I tell everyone I don't see a lot. It's just sort of murky and what? But I guess we'll keep going.
Yeah, we got to try and find the deepest part.
All right, let's just keep moving deeper in.
Okay. If you want to do a mind investigate.
Do I?
That may lead to something.
All right. Mind investigate.
And for what it's worth, I'm just keeping a lookout, across the water. I'm not trying to look over Colin's shoulder or anything.
Okay.
Sure. Well, I don't think this will lead to much because it was just one success.
Okay.
But you know what? I'll mark a condition.
Okay.
I'll mark scared and re-roll. Do I re-roll everything or just re-roll
the ones that weren't successes?
The ones that weren't successes. So I leave my one success. And I didn't get any more successes.
Oh, okay. I will give you for your first question equivalent that it seems like when the drone turns in a certain direction, it moves slower. So it indicates that there's sort of like a subsurface current, right? Like if you go in one direction, it'll move quicker because it's moving with the current of the water, and if you go the other direction, it's moving slower than it should. There's probably like a little, relative speed readout because it's Cassie. So you can tell that in the direction of the big loop reactor towers, it seems like the current is flowing away from those.
Mm-hmm. All right. So the current is flowing out from the loop reactor towers.
Yeah.
Okay.
But to get out there, like even still, there's like they've built a barrier fence sort of around that area. So like even up above the water level, they have some sort of a barrier fence that they've sunk in.
Well, I turn around to tell everyone. So, what do I get another with my one success? Is that the only thing that I figure
That's what
out?
you get. You'll get an extra question of your choosing as you continue.
All right. Cool. So I turned to everyone like, so it's weird. There's like a current or something pushing the thing away from the towers. But we want to go towards the towers, right?
Yeah, I mean that could make sense if there's some sort of rift open under the facility, letting water through here from wherever it's coming from. Yeah. Then there would be a pressure differential.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, I mean we'll just have to we'll just follow the current back and sort of swim upstream for a bit.
Yeah. Okay.
And you can. Sorry, dog wanted to play fetch. You can follow it basically all the way to that barrier fence, right? Like, and then from there, it seems like the current is flowing through the chain link.
Can I use the drone to see if there are any holes under the water? Any gaps in the fence?
Not that you can find. Like, the water level here is about 12 feet, and they probably got maybe 6 foot of chain link sticking up out of the top.
Okay.
So it's like, as a project, they came out here and laid like 18-foot panels of chain link fence.
Got it. But there's got to be something.
Well, it sounds like this is the point where we need to take a closer look, Colin. If you're not seeing any crabs moving around down there, then
I haven't seen any crabs, and there don't appear to be any holes in this fencing.
Okay. Well, we could look for some holes or make some if we get the opportunity down there.
Got to think that the crabs are coming from somewhere.
Yeah, well, I mean, they could be coming from under the loop facility.
Right, but I mean, they've got to get past this fence somehow.
Yeah. Hopefully they've sliced an opening for us and we can just make our way inside.
Yeah.
But it also looked like they could jump, remember?
That's
Back
true.
at Colin's house, there was that big gap.
Oh, yeah. Right, yeah. Yeah, maybe that's what they're doing. I don't know, but I don't see any crabs. There doesn't seem to be evidence of crabs, at least as far as the drone can see.
No. I mean, and you can patrol a decent distance with the drone along the fence line, and you don't see any spots. And knowing how sharp those crab legs were, if they were to have moved along the bottom of this lake and gotten to a chain link fence, that would not have slowed them down in the least. Right? They could have easily just gotten through. Did you have something, Nick?
No, I was pantomiming crab claw.
Oh, rock on. I saw you like put your hand up, and I was like, "Oh, cool."
Well, Midge, would you care to dance?
Let's do the thing.
Okay. So yeah, I just double check all my seals, like everything's closed up. It's probably weird wearing with no air tank, you know, but
yeah, I mean, no roll required. You can obviously take as much time as you want to make sure that you are safely sealed in this suit.
Okay.
And you can dive into the water. That's fine.
Okay.
We'll say that Midge with an air tank, you've got about 2 hours of air. Before you'd have to worry about making sure you come up. But the suits came with those weight belts, you know, that so it'll sink you down to the bottom.
Cool.
And then you guys are now down there.
Okay. So is the fence easily moved? Like if I go to like lift up part of it, is it pretty floppy or is it rigid?
I mean, it's pretty rigid. Like it looks like, you know, maybe 8 foot wide, 18 foot tall panels that they kind of brought out here, and so like it's like a big metal frame, and then the chain link is attached to the frame.
Okay.
Then they sank them down and attached.
They were pretty serious about blocking this off. Then.
Yeah. I mean, it seems pretty. Like it would not be a challenge for you to snip through the chain link part.
Mm-hmm.
But the fence itself, like to just be able to like lift it up, would be a large effort.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm just gonna look around a little bit and see if anything jumps out at me, figuratively.
Gonna scope the perimeter as well, just looking for an entrance.
So, I mean, you guys can take 10, 15 minutes and kind of go along the fence line. And along here, you don't see any spot where the fence is broken in any way. You like up against the fence in some places. There's some like on the inside where it seems like the water is flowing out. It seems like there's some random vegetation and stuff that has been pushed up against the fence. So there's some very soggy tumbleweeds that are pressed against it and that kind of stuff, but doesn't look like anything's broken through the fence.
Okay. And we have those like hard helmets, right? Like they're
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
this is like the helmets outbreak style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna wave Midge over and go to like touch my helmet to hers so we could talk.
Well, if you guys want to have like a built-in little microphone
okay.
thing, I'm fine with
Okay.
that.
Even better.
Because Pirate Pete was a nice guy.
Yeah.
Nice. I was wondering about that.
Yeah, he was good. So do you want to? Should we try to just cut through this, or what do you want to do?
Do you have something with you to cut through it?
Yeah, I mean, I have some tools with me. I don't know if this cutter is good enough, but I could try.
Might as well try. It's going to be a lot quicker than trying to find an entry point that's already there for us.
Yeah. Okay. So Dave, I don't think I brought my whole toolbox, but I was aware of chain link fence, and I assume I'd have some sort of.
You can totally have some like tin snips or something that
Yeah,
could
yeah.
easily snip through the wire. Yeah.
Okay. So
No
yeah,
roll
I just
required. You're
okay. Then yeah, I just snip up about 6 feet of an opening.
okay. And then you guys are gonna go through. I'll
Uh-huh.
even let you have like CB contact with the guys on the boat.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
Oh, good. I was going to ask about that.
So you're gonna go through the fence.
Yeah, and radio up. We're breaking on through to the other side.
Okay. Why don't you make a body sneak?
Oh. Okay.
Do we both need to do that?
Just Crash for now, because he was the first one
Okay.
to go through the fence.
Oh, right. And I have 2
All right.
conditions. Don't let me forget that I'm still upset and scared. So, body sneak. That's my character sheet's over here. Okay. 5 dice minus 2 is 3 dice. This is fine. That's a 1, a 3, and a 4.
Okay. And do you accept that as your final roll?
Yeah, I don't want to take any more conditions yet.
Okay. Cool. So you guys are through the fence. Where do you want to head from here? And Colin, you can pilot the Plata drone through the
Right,
fence.
I'm following them with it.
The
The Dronopus?
Robo Nightmare is what it is.
I'm so excited about that. Flappy feet clawing through the water behind you.
I hate it. No, thank you.
Amazing.
It's just a-
Amazing.
It's a paddlepus.
That's good.
Okay.
All right.
So you guys are through the fence.
Yeah. Is it just getting deeper as we go?
Not a lot. I mean, it's staying pretty consistently. Like, you guys are right at sort of the border where, like, the sunlight isn't coming down here anymore because it's so murky.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, you can tell that a lot of the murkiness is, like, from, like, algae bloom.
Oh.
Like, it seems like it's a combination of, like, there's still a lot of silt and this algae stuff that seems to be quite happily growing in the water.
Okay. So yeah, I guess we'll just keep going.
Okay. You guys eventually get to like you walk past along. Well, I mean, you're kind of swimming, right? You get to the part where like the old guard booth was to like enter the loop facility.
Is this the spot where we lied our asses off and said Cassie was my sister? And remember when we had to sneak in to
Yes.
go to my dad's lab?
This is exactly that spot.
Yeah, I love the little flashback of that.
So yeah, this is where you snuck into a top secret U.S. military installation and rescued your friend from protective custody.
This was easier last time, Midge.
Sorry, I'm yelling at my furry children.
Copy that.
But you guys keep marching on, and you get to the first of the old like lab buildings. You know, the outbuildings that aren't attached to the big crazy cooling tower of the big reactor. And the buildings look pretty much intact aside from being completely submerged in water. And here, you know, the water's gotten to be the point where like most of those buildings were like 2 stories and almost all of the buildings are underwater.
Okay, so yeah, I guess just I'm radio in that we're almost to the facility, and I'm gonna try and get in if I can.
Okay.
Okay.
Crash, do you know where the where a portal would be? Like, is there a secure lab or something?
Well, maybe I don't know what part of the loop they would have been working that on, but I'm just gonna follow the current.
Sure.
Current
All
pushing
right,
from somewhere.
The current.
I guess we'll all wait for current events.
The current leads you pretty much right to the big like the first of the big 3 cooling towers.
Okay.
And it seems like it's coming out of like the like ventilation shaft, like the on the outside of the building next to the big AC units, because this is the desert.
Yep.
There are some big like vent panels.
And are those still intact? Or are they sort of broken off, or what's their deal?
Most of them look like they're in pretty good shape. A couple of them look like they've kind of broken loose and are kind of pushed by the current. Because by the time you get right up to them, like the flow of water is actually pretty significant.
How big is the vent?
Like John McClane sized. Like,
okay.
You could go in there if you want.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know. Okay, Midge, I'm gonna head in. Do you want to keep watch out here?
I don't like you going in alone, but somebody should keep an eye out here. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's a cute puppy.
Sorry. She was.
You gotta watch out for them underwater puppies.
They come from below.
Yeah. I'm gonna be careful. I'll let you know if I see anything. I don't think the drone can go upstream here. This is rushing pretty fast.
Please be careful. Make sure you don't snag your suit.
Yeah, trust me, I am very paranoid about that. So yeah, I'm gonna find a spot without a bunch of jagged metal or,
I mean, like, it doesn't take a ton of work to get one of these vent covers all the way off.
Yeah.
And then you have a clear entrance. It's not
okay.
a major thing. To continue to kind of propel your way up the shaft against the current, though, why don't you make a body move?
Okay, that's slightly better. Still -2 everything. Oh, no, it's the same as sneak. Okay, so 5 minus 2 is 3 dice.
Oh man.
5, 3, 5.
Okay. So you get a ways up into the building, and then you've gotten to the point where you're hanging on to like an edge,
Mm-hmm.
and like to pull yourself around the corner, because in reality, the way physics work is as the passageway for flowing water constricts, the
Yeah.
force of the water increases.
Yes.
So you've gotten to the point where you cannot safely pull yourself around the corner. Like you've gotten to a point where you need to turn to follow that current,
Yeah.
and every time you kind of get out there, it pushes you back against the wall, and you're not having
Okay.
any luck.
Midge, I think I'm gonna need a boost here. It looks pretty like there's nothing happening in here, but maybe if you could come along and give me a shove. If I could just get in there, I could wedge myself into it.
That's what she said. And
Oh,
okay. I guess this is what we're doing now.
so
I'm gonna go try and help.
Okay.
Give him a boost.
You can get up to there, and then you can. Well, we'll let you make a body. Not a body move, but a body force.
She likes to force it.
Impromptu dance party, and also no successes.
So you get up there and you grab onto Crash's feet and you kind of push and you get him into the flow of the water, and he gets a couple of feet, but there's like nothing for you to grab onto, Crash. Like it's just the aluminum vent shaft.
Yeah.
And like you just can't propel yourself any farther. Like the current of the water against your suit is just too much.
Okay. Let's head back out, Midge. This isn't gonna work.
Damn it.
Maybe we could try one of the doors down at the ground level.
Yeah.
Dave, these things stick up way out of the water, right? Like we can't just go hop in the top.
Well, I mean, like if you had a helicopter or like a magnetrine thing, you could get to the top. But like they're, I don't know, 10 stories tall.
Okay.
Yeah. They're way out of the water.
Okay. Well, let's just find a ground entrance and see what we can do.
Sure. Danny and Colin, why don't you both make a mind empathize roll?
Ooh, hot damn, I got a success.
Okay.
I got sweet bupkis.
Okay. So, like Colin, you're kind of watching them with the platydrone, or whatever the terminology we ended up landing on. I don't remember. So you're watching them like struggle trying to get into this air vent, and it's just not working. But Danny, you see, like coming from the other side of the fence, you see, uh, what looks kind of like, the Scarab boat, right? Like the Miami Vice big speedboat thing.
Oh, okay, like a cigarette boat.
Yeah, but like a little bigger. Like it looks like it has an inside space, that someone could go down inside, is coming in your direction. But it's still pretty distant at this point. But like you you kind of see the movement, and you're looking out there, and you're like, "What is that?" Oh, yeah. It's this boat that's heading your way.
Hey guys, I think we're gonna have company soon. There's some boat coming this way.
Oh,
Midge,
shit. Yeah.
Midge, is there some sort of like cop talk I can tell them or something?
Are there any identifying marks on the boat?
It's too far out. I can't see anything yet.
Is it on your side or our side of the fence?
It's on the inside of the fence, so not where they are in the raft.
Okay, so the fence is between the two boats.
Yes.
Okay.
It's definitely on your side.
They're probably just going to come by and tell you to fuck off.
Or they're going to come and try and extract us because we're not where we're supposed to be.
Well, that's great, but we've got your safety lines here. So if we fuck off, you're walking home.
I mean, that's better than you getting in trouble for if we walk home, there's a chance we won't get in trouble, and then you can get out and we can get out and no one gets in trouble.
Did you guys trip an alarm or something? Is that security on site coming for you?
No, everything's dead down here. There's nothing.
But can you guys get back here in time? I mean, maybe we should just go.
We can't outrun a speedboat.
Yeah, there's no way.
It's still pretty far away.
Yeah, we got some time. Like, you guys could get back here.
You'd have to hustle.
Or
but
try.
Midge, what do you want to do? I really want to see the inside of this thing.
We might be better off hiding somewhere.
Hiding where? You're underwater.
And you've only got about an hour and a half of oxygen.
Yeah, that should be plenty to get us out of here. Look, just drop our lines and we'll hike out.
I don't think that's a very good idea, you guys.
It's
that's
not.
None of this is a good idea.
All
of this is a bad
ideas.
idea.
So we just keep making bad ideas then? I mean, or we've
come this far. Coming back out here is a greater risk. If we've already set off an alert, they're going to come out in greater force eventually. This is the best shot we have right now.
But we haven't even seen it. We haven't even seen where the crabs are coming from. We don't even know for sure if they're coming from here.
Well, the pressure's coming out of this stack. Like, I want to see the inside of this stack before we do anything.
Danny,
Okay.
what do you say?
We're gonna hold position.
Okay.
Look, if we motor out, then that's super suspicious. If we stand here and let them tell us to fuck off, then
What are we doing here?
Okay,
well,
but just drop the lines over the boat.
We're
Danny.
a distraction, and we take some extra time while they are dealing with us for you two to hide or get out.
Okay.
Listen, I have an idea. Colin, can you bring the drone back?
Sure.
Cool. I'm gonna drop the lines over the side, but I want you to mark to get a real good look about where they fall.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gonna put the drone away from that spot.
Okay. Wait, what?
Just follow my lead. I want to know where those lines are for the future in case we need to come back and pull them out, but I want the drone away from there. That's our cover.
All right. I'll follow your lead. And so I do. I guess I move the drone off.
Yeah, that's fine. You can pinpoint where the lines drop on your side of the fence. It's no problem. You don't actually have a lot of line left, because they went a distance. So the line that
pretty deep.
Yeah, it's not so much deep, but they've traveled a ways away from you at this point. To get into the place, but Yeah. You know exactly where you drop them. That's cool. And then the
Cool.
drone
So
can move off. Do you want to keep the drone inside the fence line, or do you want to bring it outside the fence?
no, outside the fence line for sure.
Okay. You guys can park it out there. That's fine. And then it takes maybe 3 or 4 more minutes, and then eventually this big you know as it gets closer, you start hearing the rumble of some big engines, and this big speedboat thing comes up, and it's got like the early sort of version of like gray and black digital camo on it, right? Like on the sides are all sort of this gray and black pixelated splotchies. Um, and there's uh, 3 guys. There's like a guy standing at the wheel, and then there's a guy that's like has walked up onto the bow as it's gotten close to you guys. And they're all just wearing like black t-shirts and black cargo pants. And they're
I'm so sorry, you guys.
they're
No worries.
they're like the guy, as soon as he gets within earshot, he's like, "Excuse me, you need to leave. Like, this is a restricted area. You're not supposed to be out here. You need to head back to shore, pull your boat, stay out of this zone. There's signs
Danny?
all along the perimeter."
Danny?
This zone? No, this is a public area.
No, no longer. This is a disaster area that, we're working to reclaim, so you guys need to get on out of here.
Inside this fenced area, you bet. But
Well, no,
the rest of this area,
inside this fenced area is where you get shot. Outside the fenced area is where I'm nicely asking you to leave.
Roberto, are you getting all this on tape?
Yes.
Great. I just want to make sure that we have a record of us being threatened to be shot by these fine gentlemen.
Not at all. You're on the outside of the fence. As long as you stay there, we don't have any problems.
Fantastic. Great. Listen, we're in the middle of a documentary here, so if you could just give us a little bit of time to get the footage that we need, we'll be out of your hair in a minute. We haven't touched anything. We won't harm anything.
Absolutely not. You need to leave now.
I've got all the permits. From the city. They said I could come out here, film this documentary. You might have heard of it, America's Disasters.
Go ahead and make a heart charm roll.
You bet.
For the record, I am not helping with this role in any way, shape, or form. In fact, I am probably a detriment to this role.
I'd give you a bonus, but you don't have any camera equipment.
Oh, I'm gonna bring up the I'm gonna tell Roberto to bring up the drone.
Are you?
This is, if it comes into play, this is an advanced camera that we're using to scout around to do this documentary for America's Disasters.
Okay. So you're gonna bring up the fleshy platypus from the depths.
That's gonna look great. They're gonna think that that's
Okay.
great.
Look, it's a high-tech piece of photographic equipment that we've been using. Are you a television producer? Do you know about cameras?
Give yourself an extra die. But I will tell you that it will make a no success roll worse. If you want to use
Sure.
it. Okay.
Out of
It's gonna
character.
be like that then.
I wholeheartedly support this decision, Nick.
You know, I thought I would get Danny back what he's best at, lying about people on a boat. For the record, that is one success, and it's also my large straight if I'm playing Yahtzee.
Oh. Okay. Well, so the guy, like, he sees you bring up this drone thing, and he's clearly like, okay, well, I don't know what permits you have, but, and like, their boat comes right up to the fence, right? And he takes a card out of his pocket and he pushes it through the fence. And he's like, if you'd like to apply for the real permit to be out here, you can call this number and see about arranging for a general, uh, filming permit to be out in this area. But I can't let you out here with anything from the city. This is still federal facility. Yeah.
Jeez, my producer was supposed to get this all taken care of already. Great, awesome, thank you. I appreciate your help. What's your name, officer?
Let me get to my machine. Max Ermentrude.
Great, Max. I really appreciate your help. I'll Roberto and I'll get out of here in just a second. Just making sure that we've got everything we need. And
I am Roberto.
We'll be right there.
I'm Roberto.
Yep, you are, buddy.
Oh my god, Jay.
Come back for me. I'm deceased. Just leave me.
That's fantastic.
Art. It's art.
The one thing that I don't like about this, well, one of the things I don't like about this platform is that it's difficult for us to convey how much we're all laughing and having a good time.
Truth.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely miss playing in person.
Yeah. There. I'm Roberto. Oh,
I'm
man.
Spartacus.
I just wasn't sure if he was clear.
I
Is there
feel like
someone else in the boat?
that's
I
the
don't
things
know.
from the Flood T-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Roberto.
Roberto.
Oh, for sure. Oh, man. After he's gone to this elaborate lie. 5 minutes into a conversation with this authority figure. I'm Roberto! Okay, alright, I'm back. I can do this. Oh, man. Okay, so... so... He, he lets you guys go if you're gonna go.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna stall for, like a couple of minutes while I just make sure that we quote check the tape, and while I do that, I'm gonna trigger the radio as part of our gear.
Okay.
So that I can give the divers a sort of an idea of what's going on here.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay. Max, we're packing up everything right now. It looks like we got good tape. We'll go ahead and get the permits that we need from the feds in order to be able to be here reasonably, and we'll get out of your hair now.
All right. Well, I appreciate the fact that you've been, amenable to leaving. You didn't give us a hard time, so thanks so much. Have a good day. Hopefully you can get your permit situation worked out, and you can get out here and get what footage you need.
Great. Thank you. Appreciate it. And have a good day.
And you guys start to motor away. What's up, Jay?
I was just waving goodbye to Max.
Oh, rock on. Okay.
Bye.
So you guys start driving the boat away, and you see that there's two other guys on the boat that have come out, and they're wearing like scuba gear, and it looks like they're getting their air tanks on and all that stuff as you're driving away.
Okay, so between the motor and using my body to block, I'm definitely getting on the radio and telling the down there, guys, you're about to have company. They're dropping divers. You've got like 3-4 minutes before they're in the water max.
Dave, how far is the fence from the thing that we're in?
You've probably gone, 100+ yards. Like, you've gone a ways.
Okay. And they're going to drop in the water. They're over by the fence getting ready to go in?
They're like right by where you went through the fence.
Okay. So, Danny, you got to gun it. You got to get out of there. Go fast.
We're fine. They've given us a pass as long as we're leaving.
They're gonna see this slice in the fence. You have to book it and get out of here.
All right. Good point. And zoom.
Okay.
Also, I'm gonna untie my safety line from myself and like throw it kind of in the path of the current to whatever degree.
Okay.
And like hopefully it'll like blow away a little bit.
Sure.
But and then like sort of shrug at Midge like it's not going to do us any good and it's going to lead right to us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna follow suit and do the same thing.
All right. You guys can successfully untie yourselves and fling your line, and it moves with the current away from you to some degree. How far, I don't know, but like it's certainly not right here.
Okay, so then
We need to find somewhere to hide. We need to book it around the building or find an entrance or something.
I want to hide inside this thing. This is our best bet. It's right here. We can't move that fast. We got to get inside this thing.
Yep.
You guys can find your way into to a doorway. It's gonna take either a body sneak or a body force to get in the door. And you guys can help each other, or
body force is better for me.
My body sneak is pretty high. I've got minus the condition. I've got 6 dice.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah, I would only have 4 with my conditions. So.
Okay. But you can still give an extra die, Jason.
Okay.
So why don't you roll 1 and then Midge, you roll your 6.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And then just tell me how many successes you get.
Oh, I got a 6 on my 1
so
die.
Did I.
Okay.
I got a success as well.
So that's 2 total. The first thing you can do is you're able to manage to get the door, like the sneak method is like you're jimmying the lock, right? It's been down here a while. It's not super secured. The electronic lock is no longer operational, so you're able to kind of wedge it and get it open. With your second success, you can, in this case, I'll give you either like you guys can cover your tracks better, or you can find something unexpected.
I'm full up on unexpected. I think we want to cover our tracks, yeah?
All right. That's fine by me. So you guys You get the door open, and you manage to, like, it stirs up the silt that you had kind of disturbed on the bottom, and, like, it covers the fact that you were out here. No problem. And you can get inside the building. You get inside, and in here the water is very still, right? Like, there's no current pushing against you or anything. And in here there's, like, it's almost like one of those like artificial reefs, right? Where, like, they've sunk old subway cars out to provide the basis of, like, a fake reef for sea life. So there's a lot of, like, fish and stuff that have made their way in here over time that are kind of just hanging out, and there's, like, a whole sort of ecosystem going.
But they look like fish that we're familiar with.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe we should go and see if there's anything in your parents' offices.
Oh yeah, was that this building, Dave?
No, I think you were in, like, at least your dad's office was in one of the outbuildings.
Yeah, yeah, that was away from here. We're under one of the big stacks.
Oh, got it.
Roll a die and see where your mom's office was. Just 1d6, and let me know what you get.
Oh yeah, she was a computer programmer, I think. Oh, I got a 3.
Okay. So, she wasn't in this stack per se, but as far as you remember, all of them connect down below you.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, well, Midge, we may be able to find the underground tunnel. There's a connector, but the current's coming out of this stack. I really want to see if we can find where that's coming from.
Sure, it was just a thought. I was just thinking about everything.
It's on my mind too, but they're gone, and I've had a lot of time to come to terms with that, and that's not what we're here for.
Midge kind of gives you a pat on the shoulder.
Thanks. Let's see what we can find.
Fair enough.
Okay. So you guys push into this building, and eventually you get to, like, this entrance area is, like, just sort of standard cubicle-y office kind of deal. And then as you get farther in, you get to a door, that leads into the farther into the complex. And there's an elevator. When you get through that next set of doors, there's an elevator right there. Actually, like a bank of 3 of them. But all 3 have the doors closed. And there doesn't appear to be an elevator right here at this level. And nor have you seen any sign of power here. But from here, the hallway kind of curves off in both directions.
But we're all, like, solidly underwater, so we wouldn't, like, power wouldn't do anything anyway.
Right. I mean...
Yeah. Okay.
But you also don't see any signs of, like, people having been down here recently or anything. Like...
Right.
It doesn't look like things are disturbed. You know, everything has, like, a layer of muck that has settled.
Yeah. About how high up was that vent that we were trying to go through?
It was, like, would have been between the first and the second floors.
Okay. Midge, do you want to try one of that? Should we go up an elevator shaft or try a stairwell, or what?
I feel like a stairwell is probably safer. I don't want to have to wedge doors open on these elevator shafts.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Okay. So we'll look around for the stairwell.
You can find a way to one, sure.
Okay.
And you're going up?
Mm-hmm.
Or you want to go down?
I think up.
Okay.
Because we're on the first floor, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the American first floor, to be clear. It is not the ground. It is the ground floor elsewhere. But you ascend the stairs, and when you come out of the elevator, out of the stairwell door, the floor you're on now, it does have current. It's not as strong as what was coming out that vent, but like clearly there's motion here, right? Like you see the silt and the algae and stuff in the water is moving past you. Not super fast, but enough.
Okay. Well, let's push upstream, whichever way that the current's coming from.
You turn and you start making your way forward, and then you both start to feel that like the water temperature is warmer, right? Like as you've gotten 10 feet closer to farther down the hallway, 20 feet farther down the hallway, like there is a sensible difference in the temperature of the water around your suit. And it's starting to get to the point now where like it's feeling like you're in a warm bath.
Midge, is this too warm? Like I don't have a solid sense of how hot this is.
I'm fine right now, but if it gets much hotter, I'd be a bit concerned.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, we've had hotter Augusts, so I think we're okay.
Yeah. And eventually you get to there's like another set of like what once were double security doors. That leads into a lab complex kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you get through those doors, and like one of them is like off the hinge, sort of like it's like still got the upper hinge attached, but it's tweaked and kind of bent, and that's where this flow of warm water is coming from. And you can get to the door, and you can get yourself sort of inside, and that's where you see for the first time without the lights on your helmet, there is like a glow farther down into this lab. And it's kind of a bluish sort of a glow. Kind of like the corona around the Earth in your background, Jason. And Nick's background. That color blue. But you can't quite see what it's coming from. It's just sort of the indirect light.
How you doing, Midge?
Oh, I'm swell.
I can't turn back.
Okay.
I'm not going back either.
Okay.
You move farther into this lab, and you can see there's like...
Oh, although I would like to say, just in the rushing current, I was going to reach out and take Midge's hand.
Okay.
It's all right?
That's fine.
Okay.
So you guys move together farther into this lab, and you can see there's like those lab workbenches that all like all the lightweight stuff has been pushed away by the current, but like there's still like some clamps, and on a couple of them there's like those rudimentary robot arms and stuff and that kind of thing. Clearly this was some kind of a fancy lab at one point. But you get farther down in, and like it actually looks like this was the upper floor of the lab, and you would come in, and if you weren't underwater you'd be on a catwalk, and then there's like a lower level down below you. And when you get farther out onto the catwalk, you see this blazing blue corona around like a pitch black circle. And it seems like all of the water is flowing out of that circle. And once you get to the point where you're close to it, like the water around the edge of this glowing blue light is like boiling hot. Like you can see the cavitation bubbles from it around it are just rising to the surface, and the water at this point has gotten to the point where, like, if you spend a lot more time in here, it's gonna be a problem. Like, you have a few minutes, but, like, you wouldn't want to spend a ton of time in this room.
Sure. What the fuck is that, Crash? What are we looking at here?
That's the doorway to the alien world. I read there was a white paper. They were trying to connect the loops at one point, and it never worked, and they used it for something else. They were trying to make a teleportation thing, and no one ever thought it would work, and they gave up on it. But apparently they got something to work, but it's not connected to the other loop, I don't think.
I don't think so either.
It doesn't look like Sweden on the other side of that.
Yeah, Sweden doesn't shoot out boiling water. Dave, does it look like something we can see through? Are we looking into a dark space that is black, or it's just the absence of light?
It looks like you're looking into a space that is black.
Okay.
More than like a weird Vanta black panel or something.
Yeah, okay.
It's not like that.
Okay.
There just doesn't seem to be any light on the other side of the circle. And the light of the edge of the circle is super bright.
Yeah. Is the circle upright or flat, or is it actually a sphere?
I mean, it doesn't appear to be a sphere. It looks two-dimensional.
Okay.
Not entirely two-dimensional, but like as you move, like you can kind of see that it's not a sphere. It's
okay. It's like a panel.
Yeah.
Or like from Portal.
Yes. Yeah, like that kind of thing. But like if you look at it from directly at the side, you would see that it has some depth to it.
Okay.
But
fair enough.
Not a lot.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy, Midge, I don't know what to do with this information.
I don't either. We can't stay here.
And as you guys are saying that, through the portal floats what looks like somebody in a lab coat.
Oh, shit.
Like just a body?
Yeah. It doesn't look like somebody that's moving of their own accord. They just floated through. And they're kind of...
Oh my god.
Hanging in the water. And you just see they're wearing a white lab coat, and they look like a human.
I have to see, Midge. I have to go see who that is.
And
I understand. We have to know.
I think that's a good space to end it for this week.
Okay. Oh my god, this is terrifying, and I love it.
You son of a...
This is my kind of scary story.
Okay,
perfect.
So yeah,
I love it.
Thank you, everybody. I think this worked out as well as we can possibly hope that it would work out. So those of you out there in the internet, we'll be back in 2 weeks. As always, that puts us... Let me look at the date, because I always forget by the time I start talking. The 6th of April.
No, it's March 37th.
Oh, I see. My bad.
March never ends.
On the Jasonian calendar.
Never end.
It just
March
keeps
is
marching
always...
on.
That's why we have to beware the Ides of March, because that's the beginning of the endless cycle. But yeah, we'll be back April 6th, and we'll continue to see what's going on in the crazy world of Boulder City. Thank you for joining us. Again, you can catch the rest of our episodes at happyjacks.org/shows, along with all of the episodes of all of the other cool games that are going on right now and have ever gone on the Happy Jacks network. So really, all of the RPG games ever available in the history of
Woo.
games. I have been CADave, and I will continue to do so in the future, I hope. Otherwise, it's going to get weird. But what else is going on for everybody other than just kind of hanging out at home?
So much hanging out at home, but also on Twitter at jholtham. You can find me there.
I'm on every Monday with Happy Jacks between this game and also Jason's Shadowrun game, which is a lot of fun, although we're coming up to our finale for that. I will be in a new game that hasn't been announced yet, so I'm not going to tell you guys. Ha 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 ha. You can also find me over at 12 Sided Stories. We're a highly produced podcast with sound effects and music, and it's really fantastic. And also, if you get bored, pop over to my personal Facebook page. I've been doing, I did a public live stream yesterday, and I'm going to do a few more of inebriated readings of H.P. Lovecraft. So check it out.
I've got not much going on. I'm on this show. I am also coming back for a show that is scheduled to start in April, but has not yet been announced. So fingers crossed. We'll see how that goes. And you can also check me out at Sungrowler. I'm often complaining and otherwise making bad jokes.
Hi, I'm Jason. I am wrapping up Shadowrun next week. I get to play here, which is great. Our Wednesday game is, let's see, did we wrap? No. Yes. We our finale, Eidolon Academy wrapped. It was very good. The short run I did of Demigods for 12-sided stories just came out. The last episode came out on Friday, so that's a full like 4 episodes or something, and it's a tight, fun story. All the good sound effects, and I get to be a cat at one point, so that was fun. And then on Sundays, we're still working on the exact particulars, but with fair being canceled, we're sort of figuring out what our schedule is going to be exactly, but still planning on bringing some D&D to the channel here pretty soon. And if you like, you can check out my personal Twitch stream at It's Probably, or not at, but It's Probably Okay is the name of my personal channel as well. And I'm doing some video gaming and stuff over there with friends. So be sure to check that out as well. And I will actually hit record the next time I do a video. We did a 3-hour No Man's Sky stream with my friend Sam DeLev, and I didn't hit record, and it's 3 hours into the ether and a lesson learned. So anyway, you can find me over there.
It makes it special.
Yes.
So since no one now can see it, it's No Man's Scry.
Oh boy, yeah, that's a good one. I like it.
Bringing D&D together with No Man's Sky. I like it. Yeah.
Yep. And that's everything I could think of right now. So thanks.
Cool. Well, thanks everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.